Hi guys, welcome back to Shawnrtraining. Now today is going to be episode number 2 of my new Shawnrtraining healthy lifestyle, habits, routines, and activity moving forward. Today's episode is going to be a lot different than the last episode. I'm actually going to be showing you guys how to do a quick chicken stew meal prep. On top of that, we're also going to be talking about activity requirements per week for the average individual. Now, with that being said, we're going to go into the meal prep first, and then we'll get talking about everything else that there is to be had. So, first thing that I want to let you guys know is that we are going to be doing the meal prep, and I already went out and did my grocery shopping, so I'm going to insert that video snippet here. All right, so I'm about to head into my grocery store to go and get my meal prep items. The only thing that you need to look for is going to be 1 packet of chicken breasts or drumsticks. It's a personal choice. I prefer the breast, but that's okay. You're going to get 3 different types of peppers. I love red, orange, and green, so I'm gonna grab those peppers. And then you're gonna make sure that you have seasonings in your house or wherever you are. So you wanna make sure you have salt, pepper, and then probably 2 other mix-ins. It could be oregano or basil or pretty much anything. You could also get the combination seasonings. That's just like 2 birds with 1 stone. So go and get your groceries, get everything prepped, and I will meet you in the kitchen. And now that we have our groceries, basically you just need to make sure that everything is cleaned down, wiped down, all of the tags are removed, and that you're basically ready to go. After that point, you basically want to make sure that you have everything prepped and ready on your kitchen counter. This helps the mind stay organized so that you can actually get from point A to point B to point C to your meal prep without having to continuously walk away and go do other things. So I've already set up my music, I've already got my vibes, I've already taken the time and I've prepped all of my seasonings, which I will be talking about in a few quick moments here as well. I have my cleaning cloth near me so that I can keep everything clean and organized as I go as well. The one thing that I've learned being on your own and in life in general is that if your surroundings are chaotic, your mind will be chaotic. So you need to organize your surroundings so that your mind can also be organized and as efficient as possible. So with that all being said, it's time to cook. So first thing is going to be prepping the chicken or the veggies. Now I like to prep my veggies first so that once the veggies are done, I can go straight into the chicken, get my hands dirty with the chicken, put the chicken in the pan, and then I can come back to the veggies. That way I can just wash my hands once instead of doing it a bunch of times. So with whatever knife you use, shorter knives are better for smaller movements like cutting peppers and stuff. So if you want, you could grab a shorter one. This gives you a little bit more agility to actually cut in around it. But I like to say that I'm a skilled knife user and I have maybe never cut myself. So I'm just gonna start how I do and you guys can kind of see how it looks and works. With that being said, let me get some of this stuff out of the way so you can see how I'm gonna cut. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut out the center of the actual pepper and then I'm gonna cut it in slices. Now, again, these YouTube videos are supposed to be about 15 minutes in length, so I'm gonna try and go as fast as I can because this should be a relatively quick thing for me to do. Now, when you cut it in half from there, you're gonna see all the seedlings inside. You wanna cut all that stuff out. And then you can go ahead, tap it out, get all of the seeds out, and if you want, you can give it a rinse, but I've already washed the outside, so I'm just gonna leave it there. I'm only using half of a pepper for this meal prep. I'm only gonna be cooking 2 of my chicken breasts with this recipe, and then I'll be doing a different recipe next time. So when you cut your pepper, I like to cut them in slices, straight vertically down. Once you cut all the way through, you'll probably get 12 slices for half of a pepper. Once you get all the way through, you're gonna turn everything sideways and then you're gonna cut it into small chunks. Now, if you're someone that doesn't like vegetables, cut them small. Don't make yourself have to chew full bites of veggies. Nice and small. Make sure to always remove your hand before you go back in with the knife. Definitely something that they taught me in foods class, and for real, if anyone knew me in high school, I love Mrs. Houghton. That lady, like, she's just awesome. So, anywho, once your peppers are cut, you'll be good to go. You're gonna do that with both the orange pepper and with the green pepper or whatever peppers you like. Again, if you don't like veggies, don't even put them in. It's all good. It is part of your Canadian food guide that you do get in your servings of vegetables And being that it is in a meal prep, it's kind of the easiest way to do it. Again, some people don't like cooked veggies, so you can go ahead and do it any other way that you like to, but this is what I like to do. Once you've got these cut, again, you can cut them as small or as big as you'd like to. Last pepper here is the green one. So when you're looking into what your serving sizes and your portion sizes should be, there's two things you want to keep in mind is your hand. Basically, your hand in a relaxed state is basically the size of your stomach, and your stomach sits right in between your ribs, or right in the center of your chest. So when you're looking at how much food you should be eating, if you can't fit your hand full of serving food into this, it's way too big of a serving size. So I'll drop the serving sizes down below. I'm not 100% confident in what the actual measurements are, so I'm not going to say them, because if you don't know, you don't speak on a subject. That's something that I've learned, and it's better to say I don't know rather than to act a fool and pretend. So I'm just going to say don't know. Now, next thing that you want to go ahead and do is cut up your mushrooms. If you're a mushroom person, I basically just slice them a couple of times and then push them off to the side. Again, all of my veggies were already rinsed before I started this video so that I can basically just rock through it and get the videos to the time limit that I want them to be. Once you've cut all of your veggies up, it becomes a chicken prep. Now, when you go into your chicken prep, it's very important that you choose vegetables that that you choose chicken that you actually want to eat. Some people hate chicken breasts, and that's totally okay. I just find it the most tender of the meat choices. You could do the chicken thighs, which is good. I would do them however you want. You can have them skinned or leave the skin on. Again, the easiest and quickest, most efficient is the chicken breast. So that's just what I like to use. You can use whatever you like. I've cut all of my tomatoes in half now, so all I have to do now is the garlic and then the green onion. Now, the green onion is something that a lot of people are very selective on. It's kind of like parsley. You either like it or you hate it. So that's what that is like. When you do the green onion, basically start at the base and cut away the last little bit, and then just go for nice small slices. Again, green onion carries a lot of flavor with it, so you don't really want to be putting too much of it in. I do know that I like the flavor that it brings, so I'm going to put one full stalk in with my stew. As you can tell, there's quite a bit of vegetables on this cutting board now, and that's exactly the way that it should be. Because this is probably going to give me 4 meals, or the average person 4 meals, this will be 2 meals food. I'm just gonna add in as many vegetables as I can. The last one is the garlic, and I always use a smaller knife for this guy. It's just a lot easier. The big knife usually, just use the smaller knife for the garlic, would be my best opinion. So when you do the garlic, I usually cut it in a bunch of little tiny slices, and then once I've got them in my slices, I'll just go back the other way and then just chop it up really fine. No one likes to eat pieces of garlic, so you want to make them disappear for sure. Again, all of this type of stuff is going to add flavor to the stew itself. A lot of people say, Sean, how do you make your food look so good? How does it taste amazing? It's because you add stuff in. The thing with cooking is it only gets better when you start pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone. And that's kind of ironic because that applies to so many things in life. So if you feel uncomfortable doing your meal prep, that's probably a good thing because you're trying new things, you're putting yourself out there. And you might do a meal prep that you hate, and you might do a meal prep that you love. And then you'll one day start a YouTube channel on how to do meal preps because your mom, your grandma, your aunts, and everyone taught you how to cook so damn well that you might as well show people how to do it too. All right, so veggies are done. I'm going to go ahead and put this over here. Next is going to be your chicken. So when you go for your chicken, you want to make sure that it's cleaned and done how you want it done. A lot of people have different ways as to how they prep their chicken as to what they do with it. Basically what I do is I take both of the chicken breasts that I'm going to be prepping with, Careful not to spread the chicken everywhere, and you're just basically gonna rinse it off. If you have lemon or lime, you can definitely add that. That is something that I normally do. I guess I could grab it from the fridge. So, again, that's me not being prepared, but thinking I'm prepared. Alright, so we got our chicken here. So, here's the cool thing. I also have a online thing where I do Norwex cloths. They're really, really good because they pick up 99% of the bacteria in your house. You can check out the website that I'll take down below for you. It's there if you want to check it out. I recommend all of their cloths. They have window cloths, they have mops and dry floor sweepers. They got a lot of stuff that's really, really cool actually. And I love using all of it. But that's just me because I love to clean. So that's just what I do. I need the cutting board back over here because I need to actually cut the chicken. So just push the veggies off to the side. I wish I had 2 cutting boards. That will be something I get. So you're gonna go ahead and cut your chicken into your own chunks. Now when you do these chunks, you wanna make them small enough that they're bite-sized so that you can enjoy the bites of chicken, and that when you microwave them, you can still keep the chicken a little bit tender. If you cut them too small, too tiny, they'll microwave way too quick, and then they'll basically be like chewing them. And we all know that we hate leftovers, and that's one of the problems with meal prep is you cook the food so well the first time that the second time that you come back to it, it tastes completely different because it was either overcooked or undercooked or not prepared correctly. So I basically cut the chicken into about 6 different strips, and then I cut those strips in half so that you get bite-sized pieces like that. Once you have your chicken, I guess you can keep it on the cutting board. I really should have 2 cutting boards. I never realized that I used 2 cutting boards. That's something that I definitely have to fix. Alright. So, we're gonna start talking about the activity as I go into the cooking of the actual chicken here. Now, activity for most persons between 18 all the way up to about 60 should be trying to achieve about 150 minutes of activity per week. Now, that can be ideally spread out in about 10-minute sections, so going for a walk or playing with your kids in the backyard, doing a quick workout at home, doing 40 push-ups or squats or lunges or whatever you can do. That activity to get your heart rate up is what you want. You want to get yourself on a scale of 1 to 10 to about a 6 or 7 in terms of effort. This way you can actually get your heart rate up, make your cardiovascular system work, and then this way you can actually get the health benefits of working out. Now, one thing with activity is that you need to find when it works best for you in your work schedule, in your daily routine, in your life, in your busyness, in your chaos. You need to figure out a time that you can dedicate to yourself to do this activity. When you have a trainer like me, you are dedicated to that time slot, and you know when you need to be there, you know when you need to be present, and you know basically that when you get to the gym, you know the routine, the exercise, and everything is going to be taken care of. So set a time that works for you, morning or evening, and make sure that you set that time purposefully for you. Give yourself time to get prepared for it and time to cool down from it. I'd ideally recommend 30 minutes at a time, so that would give you 5 minutes to get into it, 5 minutes to cool down, and 20 minutes to do activity of whatever type that is. Go for a walk. That's the best thing I could recommend. Alright, so now that we're over here by the stove, we're going to go ahead and start with adding in some of our seasonings. First thing I'm going to do is avocado oil. This is to kind of, I guess, lubricate the pan. It's also going to make sure that the chicken keeps moisture in it, is the best way for me to explain it. Whether that's true or not, that's what I'm saying. You're going to grab all of your seasonings. Now, I wish I had all of my Epicure stuff, but really the only one that I'm going to use today is the rosemary garlic. I'm going to attach a link in the comments down below as to where you guys can order your Epicure products. They are way different than your Clubhouse seasonings. In your Clubhouse seasonings, you have sodium, you have a list of ingredients that you can't even really describe. And then in your rosemary garlic, it literally tells you you have robust flowers, chicken, pork, garlic, herbs, black pepper, and orange. Like, it's basic ingredients. So Epicure is where it's at. Now, the oil's starting to heat up, so that's the perfect sign for me to go ahead and dump in the chicken. When you do this, you want to make sure that you don't splash because there is a little bit of oil in the pan. You just want to guide it into the pan itself. Once you've got the chicken in the pan, this is where you get to go ahead and start seasoning. So you're gonna slide in your onions and your garlic. All of your veggies you're not gonna put in yet because you don't want to overcook them. You'll grab your spatula or whatever you have, and you're gonna just go ahead and start stirring it around. You wanna make sure that the chicken doesn't stick to the pan, so you kinda wanna get it all coated in the oil that's in the bottom of the pan. Once that's cooking, you wanna make sure it's hot enough. I recommend putting the lid on top, this way it keeps the heat in. I need to get the correct lid, I left that at my parents' house when I left. And then while the chicken's starting to warm up, your potatoes, I got them in a giant bag from Safeway, the little potato company. So for a $12 bag of potatoes, I have potatoes for a week and a half. Basically, once you rinse them, they're good to go. You could cut them in half, put them on an oven sheet, put a little bit of seasoning salt and a little bit of the avocado oil for about 5 to 7 minutes, just so that they get a little bit golden crispy, and then you can put those in your meal prep pans. So, back over to the chicken. Now that we have the chicken actually cooking, it's probably gonna take 10 to 15 minutes for the chicken to cook in and of itself, so we're gonna see how that looks. I might trim the video or I might not, probably will have to, but we're gonna keep going. So yes, back to activity. Once you find out the day and the time that you guys want to use for that, you wanna make sure that you're doing activity that you like. So whether it be outdoor, indoor, whether it be cardio versus strength. Some people can do a little tiny cardio circuit of jumping jacks, then high knees, and then maybe you go up and down your stairs 3 times, and you'll do that 3 times over for your cardio. Maybe some people would rather do 20 squats, 5 push-ups, 10 dips, and then maybe a couple of side planks. But basically finding out a workout routine that works best for you is going to be best for you. On my Instagram page, there's a bunch of at-home workouts. I did not use anything other than body weight for 70% of them. Some of them I did use dumbbells and resistance bands, so they're always there as a resource for you guys. The final thing with activity is that you want to make sure that you're always doing a warm-up, active portion, and your cool down. Cool down means you are stretching, please. Static stretching is what you want to do at the end of a workout. You want to hold a stretch for about 30 seconds so that you can help the muscle unbind its muscle fibers, lengthen the muscle fibers, and then stretch and relax the muscle fibers. There's about 3 different phases to a stretch, and you have to get past the first 20 seconds to actually get the benefit of the stretch. So 30 seconds is the minimum, 60 seconds is ideally what you want to be holding a static stretch for, but I understand that's really hard to do, so start with the 30 seconds. So that's going to be what I give you guys for activity this week. Activity next week, I'm going to take you guys through an entire workout. It's actually going to be nice because it's going to be right here in my front room. I'm not going to use any type of equipment. I'm literally just going to use body weight exercises, and I'll take you guys through the whole thing. And while I'm doing those exercises or the whole workout plan, I'm also going to make sure that I'm talking about new lifestyle routines and habits that you need to keep yourself moving towards your goals. So in that realm, I might make it more goal orientated and how to create goals so you know how to plan for it, and it might just be more of the routines as to how to repeat lifestyle habits that will get you to create a goal. I haven't figured out the details yet, but that's my direction for next week. Now, we're definitely past the 15-minute mark, so we'll wait and see what happens. I think I'm just gonna post the full video. The chicken's almost done cooking anyway, so I might as well just commit to it. It'll be 45 minutes. Screw it! I don't wanna cut and trim and edit and do all that stuff. I mean, I can, and there's no problem with it, but I just rather not. Okay, so the chicken's really starting to cook, so we're gonna go ahead and add your seasoning. So the first one I'll add is my rosemary garlic from Epicure. You're gonna add about a tablespoon to that. Now again, that's just sprinkling it all over the chicken. If you can't shake straight out of the bottle, grab a spoon, please. You don't wanna dump your whole container of seasonings out into a pan. because that's not a good thing. Once you've got your first base seasoning in, you want to stir that around first so that the chicken actually absorbs it. If you just dump all your seasonings on top of each other, they'll all blend together in mix points. So you'll have really strong seasoning on this piece of chicken, really strong seasoning on that piece of chicken, and that's not what we're going for. After that point, you're going to go ahead and add your second seasoning. I really want this to have some pepper flavor to it, so I'm going to grind some pepper in there. And then your salad and herbs. So this is just a random seasoning mix that I got. I wanted to have some natural herbs in it so that it had some extra flavor. So whatever seasoning you have at home, you go ahead and use boom. Make sure to keep stirring that chicken around. You don't want it to get overcooked on one side. You want that heat to go through the entire chicken breast together. Add a little bit of salt, a little bit, a teaspoon to like maybe a tablespoon is all you need. Sodium is definitely an important part of your daily requirement. Himalayan salt is probably the best. Iodized salt can be worked into the meal plan, but again, not a registered or certified nutritionist. I have a couple of nutrition certificates, so everything I'm doing here is just me, okay? Once you got all your seasonings in, you're gonna go ahead and start adding in your veggies. Now I'm gonna add in my veggies in a specific way. I want the tomatoes to go in first, because the juices from the tomatoes are gonna start making a sauce for you. Then you wanna add in your peppers. You want your mushrooms to go in last, because your mushrooms are overcooked, basically turn into gum paste, and that's not an exciting thing. Alright. So I got all of that in the pan. Now it looks like a bowl of color. That is perfect. That is exactly what we want. Alright. You're going to take a little bit of water, splash it in so that the veggies have some water to steam with. That's going to be perfect. Now here's the picture that you didn't see. We are going to add in some ketchup and some Frank's Red Hot Sauce. Sauce bases. You can't have a saucy stew without adding in sauces. You can definitely create your own, but that's a lot of work. You could also use chicken broth. That's usually a very good go-to because it adds the flavor of the chicken. And then your Frank's Red Hot Sauce. I haven't even opened this yet, I guess. So like I said, I wanted to make this one a little bit spicier, so I used quite a bit of pepper and quite a bit of Frank's Red Hot Sauce. If you put that shit on everything. Yeah, I remember those commercials. Ooh, that instantly started smelling amazing. Okay, so now everything's gonna just kind of sit there and marinate and do its shit. So, that is going to be your chicken meal prep. So I think we're at about 20 minutes in length for the video, 22 minutes. So it's gonna be a 25-minute in total. That's good for me to know. This is my first time doing the meal prep, so I think that's gonna be a good place for me to start. So, lastly, in terms of healthy routines, now you're gonna go ahead and start cleaning up. You're gonna put away all of your stuff. You're gonna start cleaning up and wiping up. The worst thing for you to do is to take this time to just sit there and watch the chicken cook. Do something productive and clean up around. Throw all of your extra pieces into the garbage. Wipe down your kitchen countertop, maybe with your Norwex wave, or maybe just with paper towel. You know, I'm still gonna try. Now, in terms of a recap, your meal prep time should usually take you about 30 minutes in total. I definitely was going as fast as I could today. I could have gone a little bit faster if I was even more prepared, but did what I set out to do, so we're good to go. When you do your meal prep, always go in it with a budget. My budget was 40 bucks. I spent $41.97 at Safeway, and this is going to be a meal prep that lasts me about 2 days. For your regular person, this meal prep would probably last you all week. So with that being said, you could either spend 15 to 20 bucks a day going out and getting food at lunch that was healthy, like Extreme Pita Pit or Wendy's or however you want to justify it, or you could spend $10 a day, have a home cooked meal in 30 minutes, and then carry that meal prep over throughout the rest of the week. I don't know about you, but one of them sounds smart. Alright. That was instant karma. That was instant karma for throwing shade. The chicken is definitely almost done here. Just gonna stir it a couple more times. Lastly, recap is going to be the activity. You want to be getting 150 minutes a week, so 30 minutes a day would be ideal. In bouts of 10 minutes would be the minimum. You want to be trying to get your effort range to that 6, 7, maybe 8 out of 10. And then you want to make sure that you're doing it at a time of day that works best for you. Don't do something when you don't want to do it. You will hate doing it. You need to do it when you're in it, when you're feeling good. So, with that being said, that is this week's Shawnrtraining healthy lifestyle habits, routines, and activity for you. And that's where I'm going to leave it. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. I'll post a picture of the chicken when it's done. Last step is to add in your mushrooms. That's if you still have mushrooms. Once that's done, you can give it a stir around, and bada bing, bada boom, your chicken is done. You have your potatoes that are going to be oven roasted. You could boil them for 15 minutes as well. The whole bag actually has directions on the back of it in terms of what you would need to do to cook them properly. So yeah, that's your meal prep. Okay, I'm done. Have a good one. Much love. Bye.
Alright guys, so this is your final product. We got all of our sauces, our juices, all of our veggies in here. This is what we get. So, if you like this recipe, go ahead and let me know down in the comments below.